College football 26 has dropped, and I know a lot of us HBCU alumni, fans, enthusiasts, and gamers are excited to play this game, but more so excited to put our own schools into the game. I'm going to walk you through how you can use Team Builder and lots of other features to make your HBCU school's season and playing experience as close to accurate as possible. It all starts with the Team Builder. Luckily, we have a young brother by the name of his @ is Martin Luther King, and he has graciously created and downloaded every HBCU, as you can see right here on the screen. All the CIAA, all the SEAC, all the SWAC, all the MEAC. So first thing you have to do is go into the game and download every single team from your conference. These designs, we gotta send this brother a Cash App or something, because these designs are extremely accurate, and it had to have taken a whole lot of time to create all of these. So that's the first part. Download all the teams from your institution. After you have downloaded all the teams from your institution, and what you'll see in a second, the next thing you have to do is start your dynasty. And then when you start your dynasty, there's two things you have to do. You have to change some of the teams. So all the schools from your conference that you have now downloaded, you're going to pick a conference. In my case, I chose Conference USA because it was one of the smaller ones. And I changed all the Conference USA schools to CIAA schools. And then the two schools that were left over, you can also realign the conferences. And so for the two extra Conference USA teams, what I did was I moved them to another conference, right? Because there's 10 schools in the CIAA that play football, but there's 12 teams in Conference USA. So I took those two extra teams and put them in another conference. Also, and I'm glad I just thought of this. Not only do you want to download all the schools in your conference, but you want to look at your school's schedule and all the other non-conference opponents that your school has. You want to download them as well. Hopefully some alumni or enthusiast from that school has created a template for their school. So you want to download those as well. And then what you want to do is take those non-conference opponents and place them in some other conferences. Right? So now you have a conference with you have a custom conference with all of your schools in it. You also have two other conferences or one other conference with your other non-conference opponents in it. Then you want to go to the conference rules. And you're going to see all this, but when you go to the conference rules, there's a rule that says protect rivalries. It's something like that, protect rivalries. So you can designate up to two teams that your school has to play. You can also tinker with and change two teams that other teams in your conference have to play, like two conference games that you have to have. So if you have an in-state rival or the biggest rival in your conference, you can lock that in so that y'all two have to play every season. And you can do up to two teams, right? Also, the next thing you would have to do after you've uploaded all the teams, changed the conferences, uploaded your non-conference opponents, set up your conference rules, the next thing you're going to do is customize your schedule. Now, more than likely, you're not going to be able to create your exact schedule, especially if you are D2. Because most of these bigger schools play 12 games, whereas D2, we only play 10, right? And so you're going to have two extra games. It is what it is. But in terms of the actual 10 on your schedule, you should be able to get at least 9, if not all 10, of the opponents that your school has this year. Now, they're not all going to be in the same order, and they're all not going to be in the same location. However, you can get pretty much everybody that your school plays on your schedule with the right fields, the right uniforms, etc. The next thing you can do is you can edit the players on your team. So you can, and you're seeing that right now, you can change the player's name and their number as well as their height and weight. Now you can't change their face and what their face looks like. I mean, truthfully, it really doesn't matter because none of these, default settings look like the actual guys on your team anyway. But what you can do is now that you have all your conference, your teams, your schedule, you can change the names of the people and the numbers of the people on the roster to the names and numbers within your conference, on your school. So you can pretty much change the names of everybody on the roster. Change the quarterback to your quarterback, the receivers, everybody. And that's pretty much the closest you're going to get to the actual season and schedule that your Division II school or your FCS school has. You can get all the names. You can get the majority of the numbers because some of the numbers you're not gonna get. But you get the majority. You get all the names, the majority of the numbers, all the uniforms, all the fields, and pretty much everybody that you're scheduled to play. There's going to be a few games that are not going to be in the right order. There's going to be 2 extra games if you're Division II. And there's probably going to be one opponent that you can't get on your schedule. But as you can see, this is me playing Bowie versus Shippensburg, which is a real game that's happening this year for us. It makes the gaming experience a lot more fun, in my opinion, as opposed to just putting the Bowie logos in the game and you're using Clemson names and numbers and all of that, and you're playing against, Florida State and all that. That's not as accurate, so it's not as fun. This is the closest thing you can get to accuracy. So, hey, if this is useful to you, don't be shy. Hit the Cash App for a brother.
Man on the line of scrimmage defensively has got to be able to set the point and force the football back into traffic.
And he's into the end zone for a touchdown.
And such a great job by the offense, able to execute there and score a touchdown late in this game.